Alright, surprise, surprise. It's Meg Minecraft here, and I'm not doing your average TAM video. Nope, I am doing Arcane video. So I know a lot of people lately have been having a bit of a struggle on Arcane. Maybe a lot of people by that I mean, new players might be struggling with how to get decent power because the only thing that you guys see right now is these cells from Ender.io, and the only other way is the Stirling generator, which you can make it have a decent amount of RF. You can make it deal 20 RF a tick with coal, but then you're just going to start draining up your coal. And by putting a capacitor in here, you can make it drain like 40, and then with one of these guys, you can make it drain out 80. But once again, this stuff will burn through your power really fast, and you'll be constantly drained out of it. So, I mean, drained out of the coal. So basically, I've tried to come up with a system where you guys can make enough power that's really easy, and the energy is reusable. And in order to produce the item, like let's say you want to make a tree farm, you would need to have power to power up the farmer to make the things work and all that. And chopping up logs and all that is really expensive. I mean, by expensive I mean it costs RF like per log and leaf that it crops. So with that being said, if you guys actually access a Stirling generator, you'll notice that if you grab a few items from your inventory, you will see there are some differences. So if I'll go ahead and I'll just grab myself a few items right here. So you'll see that if we go in here, that this does 16,000 RF a tick at 20 RF a tick. Both of these do. Coal blocks, 160,000 RF at 20 RF a tick. And now we go over to the lava bucket. 200,000 RF a tick. I mean 200,000 RF for 20 RF a tick. So that's a really good deal. But there is no way to endlessly just get lava from the nether, so how would you make lava elsewise? Well, you need fire essence and a bucket. So I was trying to come up with a solution where I could infinitely craft up lava buckets and pump them into Stirling generators because they last so long. It gives you so much time to, exceed your power output. So what I've come up with is this little design, and I will give you guys a tutorial here. Sorry for that. Basically, this was my original concept idea, and then I came up with this idea right here. Okay, so basically, let me try to explain what's going on here, and then hopefully you guys can build it up yourself. So in here, we have a farming station. These are locked, and these have some seeds in them. This is currently being drained out in power right now because I do not have the whole system hooked up, but you guys will see eventually that this will work. Basically, it is going around right now, and it is farming out these fire crops. And these fire crops are only being powered by, let me just do this real quick, help you guys out with all those idiot sounds. Okay, so beneath the dirt, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4 growth pulsars. That's it. That's all you need, just 4. And as a matter of fact, 4 is actually an exceeding output, as you can see right here. I would only go with 2, but 4 is just to help you get like a big jump start-ish. You really need like 2 of these guys to work. And the glowstone helps so that even at nighttime, your crops will still grow, because without light, your crops will struggle to grow. So with that being said, it basically will harvest it. You have to make sure that in here, you have it set to extract fire essence with a whitelist on a basic item filter on always active. You want to place your item conduit there that does that from Ender.io. It will then pick it up, and you will set it to insert the item into here. You don't need like an item filter because that's the only thing that's coming through this route. Then once your fire essence is in here, you will simply make it extract. There we go, with always active, and you'll see now that will take that, and basically you'll plug it into this crafter right here, where you have energy coming in from the right, and on top you'll have it inserting the item with, you don't really need a filter on here actually, now that I realize that you know, so don't worry about the filter. Then in the crafter you're going to set up this recipe right here with fire essence and buckets, and a bucket, and to make the lava bucket, and Remember, you can always just configure in your IO how you're going to do stuff. You use left click to move around, right click to set, whole shebang right there. Then you're going to make the lava bucket output into here. And this is where you're going to have everything else working. So you're going to have a whole bunch of inserts that go into all these. Okay? And basically, what's going to happen is the lava will come in here. You'll see it generates 1 million RF at 80 RF a tick. You will need to put in these capacitors, but you can also start out without these capacitors too. What I'm just saying is that once you put in these capacitors, your power generation will become greater. So you see we can do it without that, and then 200,000, and then we can also do it with million. So basically what you're going to do for these is you want to set the input right here, and you don't need this output, by the way, that only needs to be input. Okay, so you set your input right there. In the back, you're going to set your output right here. You're going to make sure that this is a whitelist only output extract, always active, just like we're going to do for all other item stuff. And in the item filter, you're just going to whitelist it for a bucket. And the reason that that's going to happen is it's going to take out the bucket once it places in the lava. Because once the lava is like in there, it's in there. Like it will stay in the generator and generate all the million RF that it needs, and then the bucket will be extracted out back into this chest right here. So once again, just make sure that you have the setting the same for all of these, and once that's done, it'll go back into this iron chest, which will then be extracted into this crafter again. So basically, every single time that a Stirling generator uses up the lava, the bucket will return, and then it will make another lava bucket. And then you can have an infinite reusable cycle. Okay, so now that you've got all this down, underneath, you can get all your energy conduits or whatever other conduit you guys want to use. Just so you know, you can infinitely expand this thing out as far as you want. You can stack it if you want. I don't know, I haven't really tried stacking it though, but you can infinitely expand it outwards as much as you want. And yeah, the reason it stopped is because all of our yeah, there you go, you just saw it happen. So I can, there, you saw how it just did that? So the second that it drains out that lava, it's just gonna turn into a bucket, go away, and then instantly get replaced with a lava bucket. And now it'll start generating a lot more RF a tick. So now that we have that working, all these octadic capacitors, I will now count this up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 12 right here. I'm now going to plug in one of these, and you guys will see just how good this input is. There you go. 1,920 RF per tick. And that is pretty dang good. As a matter of fact, that is nearly as good as EnderIO's advanced solar cells. Let's see how many of those solar cells you would actually need to match what's going on. Yeah, 360 from 9 of these, which, by the way, the recipe for them is pretty dang insane, considering you need the vitamin alloys and whatnot. And even if we kept on going, like so, still only 720. Over here, 1,920. And now we can set that thing down here that we just had. That guy's now the input, right? And now we can configure down here. We'll say input, and then we'll also say output. And now if I just kind of start typing 9 in here, it will max out the output. And now you guys can see all the power here is coming back. The cycle is starting again. The crafter now has full power. And what you can always do to make sure that all your buckets are in there is you can simply toss in some buckets and see what happens. And when it stops, take out the bucket, and then make sure the bucket in right here is out. Once that's out, you know you have the perfect amount of buckets to work this. And yeah, just look at that power go. You'll have plenty of power to run your machines or whatever the heck you need. You can, set up a whole machine platform like right around here. but it won't really matter. You can just basically just set up an output right here. And now these have full power, and then you can just set up all your machines up here and just start working your base from there. So yeah, this is a basic, easy, efficient, reusable energy power source that will grant you 2K RF per tick plus for almost no cost. If you guys have noticed, there is pretty much no octadic capacitor in here or the crafter. So once you make these two items, and once you struggle through the pain to get them, you only need just a few fire seeds, just a little bit of growth balls. So there's not even that much, really. It's only like 4 lines, and you can even do this with like a 3x3 grid too, and it do the same exact thing and have the same effect. As a matter of fact, it's probably all you really need. But the default radius for this is 7x7. I mean, diameter is 7x7 basically. So I just kind of set it up like that. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial. Hopefully it helps you with getting your arcane power. And yeah, I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.